What's up, family? AV is back with you, and I am here to reveal to you the exciting things that I have, as I promised you yesterday, as far as positions and stuff like that. All right, where do I begin? There's a lot to put in here, and again, none of this is financial advice. This is just what AV is doing. One, cryptocurrency. Let's start from here until we work our way up to our favorite stock, AMC. Then I got a pretty important thing to say about actually GME, which is really like caught my attention, and I'm very interested in. So let's dive into it. Cryptocurrency. One, Bitcoin is extremely oversold. Extremely oversold. However, it does have, like, while on many different time frames it is oversold, it does have a lot of gaps to close to the downside. But what I mean by gaps, as in the ones that I saw were very close to where we at. So basically, you're talking about going down to the upper 23,800, possibly continuing throughout the weekend. If we don't see that, if that happens, let's say that happens and we drop down to the 23,800s over the weekend and we cover that gap, at that point, I would be watching the levels of consolidation as we are heading into next week. This is not going to be something where we drop exotically to back to about 16,000 on Bitcoin, for example, because there are some gaps there. I don't see that happening extremely quick in the manner of a couple of days. So I will be monitoring the situation by next week to see exactly what's happening. Or where we heading with that. The fact that they're giving the headlines saying, oh, Tesla sold whatever, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, or whatever the case may be, is doing this, and big sellers, institutions, and big whales are selling off Bitcoin. Hey, collecting profits. Again, we are going to be monitoring that one, so nothing to do much with crypto. A small little hint. Remember last week I had all these shills that or that one particular shill that came in and talking about XRP this, XRP that, XRP this, XRP that. While I'm so bullish on XRP, and I was telling the family, great investment, blah 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 blah. But what did I tell you? It is much better looking now that XRP is back into the 50 cents range from the upper highs that it went to the 88 based on the news. Got to remember, now the case is not out of the waters. Yes, while it's bullish, timing is everything. The fact that you could get in and get out, or get in, let's say, in the 50s, is much better than when people were YOLOing in at 70 cent, 80 cent, even the upper 60, mid 60 cents. Now those same people are down on their position, they're holding backs, right? Now, you're not into XRP or Bitcoin or any of these cryptos, or Shiba Inu even, or Doge, for a daily in and out and daily profit. If that's the case, you'll go about this the whole completely different style. If you're in it for a long term, you could use this as an advantage or a point to average down. But what's the best feeling out there? To get in and barely have to average down, or to get in at a high point and then now you have to average massively, or you're wishing for that upward movement anytime soon because you're massively in the red. This is exactly what I was alerting the family to. So in the past couple weeks, when I had shills coming in, oh, XRP only, maybe you're enjoying your bags currently. And in the same time, you have a lesson that you have possibly have learned, and hopefully I could be that teacher, or I was that teacher to teach you that lesson. It's timing. It's not about just saying what we want to believe. Life is different than what we expect to come out, or whatever the case may be. However, we'll stick day-to-day operations now because of the markets and how they're reacting with crypto. So again, bullish on crypto, but we have to monitor every day, as we're not the only players in the game. We have to see what Big Fish is doing as well, and how are they planning to go about it, especially on the charts. Now that covers that. Now Tesla is pretty important. I was this close of getting into Tesla and jumping in for the upside, because Tesla is also very oversold. However, it is showing me, as I told you guys yesterday, to monitor the situation day by day to see exactly what is going on so that you can make the best decision. Tesla right now, while it's oversold, it looks like it could go into a realm of consolidation between these 217s and 15s, perhaps consolidate up in the 220s, but I do see weakening. I do see some more downside. So on Monday, I might actually open up a short position, but only for, not a short position, but a put position, and only for a short period of time, because I see 212, I see, which we touched barely today, I see the bottom 200s being tapped, and if we tap underneath 200, we have a fall to all the way down to about 196, and then below that will be 169, and going into that, oh my God, that will be massive for puts. I don't see that case being the case, but again, day by day, and basically we were winning. My plan is winning through options in a market that is set up like this, where shares could be one thing one day and then another the next day. So I'd rather take wins, have more dry powder on the side, and then utilize that for wherever I would love to utilize that. Now let's begin with GME. Out of all the charts that I was looking at, believe it or not, and this AB just says the truth, guys, the healthiest chart I saw was GME. GME's chart is, while it has been consolidating for over a year, being in the same price ranges and minor drops here and there, most of its gaps are actually to the upside. So there isn't much that it has to cover down unless it drops down to $1 or back to $1.42 or $3.42. And I don't see that being the case with all the developments that happen with GME and this fundamental situation that it's in right now. So looking to the future, GME is in a position where, in my humble opinion, wherever anybody buys in this range right here, you're kind of buying, even if there's a little bit more downside, it is not that much averaging down. Like, I'm not talking about 100% average down. Like people, when they were buying, for example, into XRP in the 80s of cents, and then now they're seeing it in the 50, they're down over 30-40% on their position. That's not averaging down. That's not, I don't think that's a great entry, is what I'm trying to get to. That's one. Similar to AMC as well, or even GME itself, buying in the $200-$300 range. Those people who were buying then, they were not necessarily wrong people. They were just buying in at a wrong entry point. And buying in somewhere near a bottom is where it becomes a winner's game. Not buying exactly the bottom, because it's not just almost impossible or rare, but it's almost unheard of that somebody buys exactly the bottom or exactly sells at the exact top. As I always, your family always hear me say, choosing or timing the top or timing the bottom is always going to be a loser's game. So the best thing you could do is buy near or sell near where you where you see, or what your technicals tell you to be the exact either top, or nearing the top, or nearing the bottom. And at that point, you're getting in, at least your foot is in the door, and all what needs to be done next is to put the second one in and perhaps hurt whoever is in the house. Hurt the house. That's the intent, right? Now let's get to our baby AMC. AMC, I am so pumped for my calls, and I have something to tell you that you're not going to find elsewhere. Here's what you're not going to find elsewhere. And I know this video is a little longer, but I had to cover so many different ones, and I had to give you so much, and I told you what AB is going to do, right? So as far as what we have, why do you think that the high for today was $4.19? That wasn't a coincidence, or a coinkydink, shall I say. That was a purpose, because we have a gap to fill this upcoming week between $4.19 and all the way up to the $4.90.91. So what is AB planning to do? This is just AB's plan, not telling anybody to do anything here. Just my plan, sharing my opinion with the family, my beloved family. AB will be continuing to hold some of his $4, my $3.50 I've taken care of already today. And some of you will be thinking like, oh, okay, well, why don't you just keep the 3.5 and sell the 4? Well, the 4s, I sold the 3.5 because they were giving me more and more premium at this point. So therefore, the $4 ones that I'm holding, I will be monitoring the situation next week because they were so much cheaper since they were a little bit further at the point when I bought them after that drop last week. They were cheaper, so therefore I can play with how much premium I can mess with, or I have the luxury to play with the premium and see when I can choose to be basically out of them. Because right now, while they're a couple of months out, while they're basically around being not in the money because you have to go over the break even, which is above $4.25-30. Right now that I have 2 months to go on these premiums or on these options, I still am, believe it or not, in the money and profitable right now. Not in the money, but profitable. And worst case scenario, would AMC's price at $4 a share, if I have to exercise, for example, in 2 months, if we're still here somehow, some way, would AMC $4 a share be worth it of a stock? To me, the answer is pretty simple, and that's a freaking hell yes. However, that I don't think that would even be the case because I would not be doing that. As I told you guys in these past couple weeks, take care of yourself from this point on out. I don't have to touch a single share from either whether Ape or AMC, but what I am doing is this next week I will be looking to see we break 420, 419, 420. And I'm not talking the 420 that you're thinking of. I'm talking about the 420. If we go into 420, we have a clear way to go through all the way up to the 490. Now we could break up to 524, and that's where our 200 day moving average, as I see on some of my technicals. But my first point of resistance will be in the 490. So my $4 calls will be completely taken care of in the $4.80, somewhere around that range, $4, upper 470s, because I do not want to face that resistance in the 490s and perhaps hope that we break it. If we break it, great. I already made my money in my calls. I still have my shares untouched, and I have my long-term calls that I don't even have to deal with that are due a year and plus out. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. Sorry that it was a longer video, but I had to give you guys a lot of game. Now, let's see what they will do next week. We do not break that 419, 420 level and head into, because if we break that 420, it's a gap straight up to the 480s and 490s, precisely around 491. Now, does that mean they will let us break through to the 524 level? I don't know. My options will not be waiting to see to find out. But if we don't even go into that, then I could easily let these options go at the very worst at an even price. I'll be good. I made my money on my $3.50 calls. So therefore, it's a win-win. And this is exactly what I mean by how you can win in the market, dear family, no matter what happens, while the shares are untapped or untouched. You see this? That's what I want for each single one of you guys. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the comments section. If you haven't subbed to the channel, want more game, I don't know what you're waiting for still. If you haven't liked the video, I don't know what else can I do to make you like. Much love, AB Investments. Enjoy your weekend.